Hi, meet Ahan, a computer science student at the University of Dhaka. Every day from 9 to 5, classes one after another, lectures, labs, assignments. Time moves fast. Then one day, everything slows down. A sudden headache. Weakness sets in. The pain grows. He looks for a doctor, searches online for appointments. But soon he discovers something frustrating. The medical tests he recently did at home, not accepted in Dhaka. He must repeat them. Same tests, same reports, completely unnecessary. More time, more cost, more suffering. Now imagine this. What if there was one centralized medical platform where health records were securely stored, updated in real time, accessible anytime, anywhere? What if booking appointments was effortless? Blood donation, automated. Reports, verified and shared instantly. No repetition, no confusion, no wasted time. That's where CloudCare comes in. A digitalized national medical database, connecting patients and doctors seamlessly. CloudCare works through three integrated systems: the doctor end, the patient end, and the admin end. Together, they create a complete healthcare ecosystem. So now, let's dive in.
Assalamu alaikum. This is the dashboard of our web app. We have two ends, patient end and the doctor end. So let's begin with the patient end. Now in the patient end, we can either sign in or sign up. So as a new patient, I would love to sign in. So let's fill in the details and click on sign up. So an OTP will be sent to my verified email address. So let's fill it up. There you go. And click on verify. After clicking the selfie, let's click on submit. So my account has been created. Now let's edit this profile. I can choose a photo and save it. Likewise, I can update some personal informations including age, gender, some addresses and some other stuff. I can also update some basic information regarding my heart rate, oxygen saturation, respiratory rate, blood sugar level and so on. And I can also input environment and family information as well. So let's fill it up with another account, but before that let's log out. Let's log in again. Okay, so now in this patient profile we'll have the necessary informations of the patients, including the heart metrics, some personal information, as well as the medical history, lab reports, appointments, medications and so on. We'll have this later on. Also, we'll have this notification section, so whenever a doctor updates any information regarding this patient, instant notification will come to this page. Let's go to the edit profile and edit some informations. If the patient is female, then we'll have this menstrual cycle information, which will collect the previous menstrual date. Now let's move on to the next section, doctors list. So let's say I'm looking for a doctor for cardiology. So I can simply search for cardiology and all the doctors regarding this specialty will come up. Now the patient can view any doctor clicking this view button, and then all the necessary information regarding this doctor will be available. And by clicking on this button, view appointments, the doctor can be booked by the patient. We'll have this later on. Let's move on to the next section, find donor. In this section we can add ourselves as a blood donor, and for that we need to click on this button. So let's choose different email. and fill it up with necessary informations, and the last donated blood date. This is very important because the eligibility of the blood donor will highly depend on the last donated blood date as well as the critical conditions. For example, if someone has HIV, malaria, diabetes and some other stuff, it will also be taken in the consideration of the automated system to verify if the donor is eligible to donate blood or not. So let's click on Save Donor Profile. Once we click on Save Donor Profile, we'll have an automatic email that will say thank you for registering as a blood donor, and our necessary information will be showed here, and as you can see we are eligible to donate blood. But if we had some other health risks, for example HIV, malaria, diabetes, or maybe we haven't donated blood within like the 4 months, then we will be ineligible to donate blood. Now I can also request for blood by clicking on this button, so add new request, and let's say I'm looking for B positive blood group, so I will click on the specific cases, and then I would also submit the date and then create a request. By clicking on this, as you can see, we can view all the blood donors having the same blood group as well as their necessary informations. Now we can check all these buttons, all these persons, and click on this button that is email all eligible donor. If we do that, then all the donors will receive an email that we are requesting blood from them. If they accept the invitation, then we can get their blood. So let's click on email all eligible donors. As you can see, emails sent to 4 eligible donors, and we'll have this information regarding total request, pending, matched and so on. So let's have a look at this thing. As you can see, someone has requested us for a blood group. Dear, my name, a patient has submitted a blood request, your blood type B positive matches perfectly, and as you can see the patient address and so on. So in this way we can find blood donor automatically by an automated system. Let's move on to the next section, CloudCare AI. In this section, we can simply ask this AI for some simple health symptoms. For example, I can ask for fever and click on send message. So as you can see, we can have some basic information regarding fever, the temperature, and some precautions that we can take regarding any disease. Let's move on to the next section, mental health quiz. So if someone is suffering from mental health issues and want to take a test on whether they're mentally fit or not, he or she can take that test. So for that we can simply click on start quiz, and then we have to answer these questions. And click on submit and view result. So as you can see, my score is 10, and we'll have a PDF report that we can download. So let's click on download PDF report. And the report will be downloaded as well. So if you view the report, we can see the mental health assessment report as well as the score and the suggestions and recommendations. You can also copy this link, and also we can go to crisis helpline if we want to do. Let's move on to the next section, appointments. This is a section where the patient can view all of its appointments in this page. And if there is any pending appointment, he or she can join this appointment by clicking on this button. We will show that shortly. And the last one, we have the feedback option. So if any patient happens to share any feedback regarding this app or doctor service or anything, he or she can do that. So the name and the email will be automatically fetched, so the patient can request feedback regarding the app, service, doctor and some other. So let's have a feedback on the app. So let's give a rating and click on submit. There you go. So this wraps up the patient end. Let's move on to the doctor end, and we'll come in this patient end shortly. Let's click on logout. Okay, so let's move on to the next section, doctor end. So let's click on doctor. Now here, as a doctor, we have to first sign up. So let's click on request sign up. Now we need to submit the photo and all the necessary informations. Here we need to submit a BMDC registration number with the perfect format. And then we need to upload the certificate. And click on submit request. Now, after the doctor has submitted a request, an admin has to approve the doctor to the website. So let's go to the admin page. Let's log in as an admin and click on sign in. So this is the admin page. Here we have the doctor management, the donor management, and the user feedback. Also, the admin can change its password and log out. So let's go to the doctor review section. In this section, we can view the total approved doctor and the number of doctors rejected. And here we can view all the doctors that is available in our database. For example, we can select this doctor and reject her for some particular reason. Also, we can see all the necessary information of this doctor and we can approve or reject depending upon what is the verdict of the admin. And if any doctor happens to approve of all the necessary information, we can simply click on this button, approve. Alright, let's go back to the main dashboard. Here we have also the donor management section. So in this section, we can see all the available donors that we have in our database. And we'll also have the donor list and the request list, so on. We can also edit any donor if we want. And then we have the user feedback section. So basically we can view all the feedbacks that the patients have given. And if there is any feedback that goes against community guidelines, then we can simply delete that feedback. We can also filter that feedback depending upon different rating, different date, different category, and so on and so forth. So this is the admin end. Now let's log in as a doctor. Now since we are approved in the admin end, let's log in as a doctor. Now in the doctor dashboard, we can see the necessary information of a doctor, and then we can click on edit profile so that the doctor can edit its profile, including some addresses and some other medical stuff, and click on this button. Right, now here's this section where doctor can search or edit a patient's data. So let's click on this search patient. Here the doctor needs to fill up the patient's ID. So for example, we have a patient with an ID 292863. So let's fill it up and click on search patient record. So as you can see, the information of the patient has been fetched. Inside this, a doctor has all the other informations that a patient should have, including blood and biochemistry, which have RBC, platelet, triglyceride, WBC, sugar level, creatinine, cholesterol, then blood pressure, serotonin level, dopamine, stress level, cortisol level, and so many other things. So for example, if a doctor happens to change any information regarding this patient, let's say a doctor changes this blood and biochemistry, and click on save changes. As you can see, the data updated successfully. And in this section, if we go to the notification, as you can see, blood and biochemistry has been updated by the doctor name. And also the doctor can update its medical reports here. And click on upload to cloud. Also the doctor can view all the reports here. Likewise, the doctor can update the past surgery and procedures of the patient, and click on these informations here and click on add surgery and save changes. So this is how all the information of the patient is available to the doctor, and the doctor can update the information at any time. And as you can see, whenever the doctor updates any information, the last updated time gets updated. And also in the patient end, the patient receives the information every time. For example, blood and biochemistry, common criterion, surgery list, and so many other things. Now in the availability section, the doctor can fix the time when he or she is ready for appointments. Let's fix the date and let's click on this button, telemedicine. Now in the doctor's list, if we go to the same doctor and click on view appointments, we can see there is an appointment of this doctor from this time to this time, and this is telemedicine. So let's click on book. As you can see, we are booked. Now the doctor has to approve the appointment. So let's go to the appointment section, and as you can see, this is our appointment. So let's confirm. Since it's a telemedicine appointment, we can simply click on to join this call. So let's click. And from the patient end as well, if you go to the appointment section, as we can see, this is our appointment. So let's click on join meeting as well. So this will take you to the appointment tab, and we can simply do a video call if we want to do so. So let's click on join meeting. And this is how appointment is done through Jitsi Meet. And lastly, the doctor can log out by clicking this button. So this wraps up our web app. We hope that you liked it. Assalamualaikum.